Hello and welcome back to Bits and Bobs. Today I will be expanding my half-crown date run, currently going from 1920 to 1967, the 50% silver and Cooper nickel coins. I'm now going to extend it from 1817 to 1967, so from the very first modern half-crown. Here we see my current half-crown date run. As I said, it starts off with the first 50% silver coin, that is from 1920, when the coins were debased to this purity of silver, and is a lovely coin. And the date run runs up all the way, there's a few loose ones that they don't fit, to 1967 here, which is the last year they were made for circulation. So that is the current date run, but I have not one of these trays ready to fill, but I've also just gone and ordered and bought a second one here. So we'll just quickly unbox this, and boom, here it is. And if we just take the plastic off, we can see we now have two more trays empty, ready to fill up with lovely old half crowns. All these coins will of course be sterling before 1920. So here are the ones I have already, just in this random tub of some older sterling nice coins as they've been labelled. And as you can see, without giving up too many spoilers and previews, there are some very nice sterling coins in here that I'll be adding to my date run. As we can see, there's some florins in there and other things as well. But a lovely little tub with some coins to add. I'll be using this collector book here all the way down to the half crown section to see which years were minted and which ones weren't, as there are a few NIFCs, not intended for circulation years, and years when they just didn't make any at all. So I'll just see here through the coins and which ones are made, which ones are not, so I don't have a space in the collection for, say, like an 1822 when they didn't actually make any of those. So here is the first gap, and the first year of these coins is 1817, and I'm lucky enough to have that in my collection already. So the first one is ticked off. A lovely design, the bull head of George III, and of course the date 1817, the first year the coins were minted to this new standard weight diameter. So there we go, the first one is in. I don't have the next one, an 1818, but I do actually have an 1819 with the third one. A lovely design again, and a very, very nice toning on the coin as well. And this, of course, is 1819 here, with the other portrait of George III. So there we go, another coin into the new tray of the half-crown date run. The next one I have is an 1823 here, another lovely design, and this one is from George IV's reign, as we see here, his portrait by Benedetto Pesciucci. And that goes into the date run. If you're wondering what this is, I'm just using it as a placeholder. It is actually a nice old Victorian Maundy penny, but I'm just using it to sort of placehold which dates I'm up to and so on to make it easier as I go through the book. A bit of a gap now along some of these next spaces, but the next coin I have for the date run will go there, and it is an 1834 half crown with another lovely design. These older sterling half crowns have some truly masterful artwork on them. And this is of course a William IV coin, as we see here, so the first William IV coin into the date run. And there it goes into the tray. Very nice. Next up we have another William IV coin, this one from 1836. And once again, that lovely, lovely design. And here is his portrait again. A little of damage at the obverse, but that doesn't matter as much, as that'll be the reverse showing in the tray. There we go. I don't have any more coins before 1850, and after 1850, there's a big gap as none were made all the way until 1874, as we can see here in the book. So allowing spaces to, no spaces needed for that gap in between there, I now have put a few of my Victoria young head ones in there, featuring the crowned shield design. And that's that tray done. Now we're on to tray number 2. So the first coin for tray number 2 is a date I don't have. In fact, the first one is this 1895 here. Still again, a Victorian coin, a bit worn, but still a lovely design, and features now the veiled head or old head or widowed head of Her Majesty Queen Victoria. So there we go. That is the first coin for tray number 2. The next coin is a few more gaps along, and it is the 1899. Here we see the coin here, and it's a bit the same design, but a bit better condition than the last one. Again with a nice colour, a nice toning, and there it goes into the tray. Now then, I have no more Victorian coins. Next up is an Edwardian coin, a 1910 half crown here, as we see, with a lovely design by George William de Soules. And there it goes into the tray, along with the other ones we've put in there so far. They do look really nice against this lovely felt red background. The last sterling coin I have is a 1916 half crown, the same design and still sterling silver. The design would carry over from sterling to 50%. And there it goes into the tray as the last sterling one. Now I do have obviously quite a few 50% ones, as you saw, so we'll just whack all those in here now. This is a very nice 1927. I'm happy with the condition of that one, as I bought it as a sort of scrap lot of coins. You may have seen that video. If you haven't, go and check it out. That's the current progress on tray number 2. Of course I will fill the empty gaps with paper in a moment, as you will see. And now tray number 3, I have most of them already, and I have the paper already made, so I'll just whack these in here very quickly This is basically going to be the just a bit shuffled along version of what I already had as, you know, my only tray of date run from the 50% to the Cooper and Nickel. So here we go, all the coins in there. Now this tray you may see is only a 35 capacity tray. I didn't really notice this when I was doing it. I ended up having to take them all out, but then a 40 tray, as look, 3 don't fit. How annoying. So I get another bigger tray with 5 more extra spaces so these coins fit. Now, I've just used up a whole packet of white card, making the rest of these little inserts to know what coins, what dates I will need. So, here is tray 1 of the half crown complete date run of the modern half crowns. I have the very first one, the 1817 here, no 1818, but I have the 1819, some lovely designs of the George III. I have one George IV, the 1823, and note there is no 1822. I then have 2 of the William IV, an 1834 and an 1836. A bit of a gap here, and down onto 3 of these Victoria early Younghead ones, the 1875, 1883 and 1885, giving me 8 so far of the tray of 40, so 1/5 complete of tray number 1. Here we have tray number 2. The first one I have on this tray is here, the 1895. Now I do have also the 1899, featuring that veiled head Victoria design. I then have no more Victorias, but I do have one Edward VII, which is this lovely 1910 here. For the only Edward VII, I have one Sterling George V, that 1916, and then we move on after 1920 to the 50% coins. I have 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, no 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. There, so I have 13 out of the 40 on tray number 2. Tray number 3 of 3 is much more full, with pretty much all the ones ticked off, apart from a few 50% here, 30, 32, 34, 37, 40 and 43. And then also, I used a bigger tray because the one I used before hadn't got enough room, so I managed to find one with a few more spaces on to fit everything up here, all the way to the last circulating year, 1967, and I even had enough space to add here 1970, which technically is a proof coin, but I thought if there's space there, I may as well have it, add it as I go along through the half crown date run. Overall, I have 47 half crowns out of 118 making the full date run. So 47 out of 118, which has made some good progress, but of course, a lot of collecting to do, which is the fun part.